когда мы выходим на берег, то девочки радостно стонут, и мы начинаем рассказывать про разные трудности моря. Но хватит, забыла сирена, и мы быстро прыгаем в воду. Мы жить не привыкли на суше, мы любим нырять и купаться. Аквалангисты, это хорошо, да! И взрослые знают, и дети, мы радость творим на планете. Аквалангисты, это не игра. Меня укусила акула, тебя укусила акула, ее укусила акула, да нас всех укусила акула. Аквалангисты, это не игра.
Don't worry, we'll kill her soon enough. But first we of course gotta take care of a couple of other things before that is to happen. At any rate, good evening, afternoon, or whatever time of the day it is in your part of the world. And tonight we are back to Shadowrun Hong Kong, Extended Edition. First of all, we are gonna be going over some secondary objectives, and after that, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to continue with the main plot line. Now let's see here. Give it a moment, and there we go. All good now. I do love this music. Don't know if I have mentioned that before, but out of the starting menu screens, I suppose that's my favorite one, at least when it comes to Shadowrun games. We can of course beat the classic that is the 6th World track, which has been with us ever since the first game, but that one is starting to gain on me. Maybe because we've spent so much time in Hong Kong that it could be considered as a form of Stockholm Syndrome, but I am enjoying it as far as things go. This thing is the best Shadowrun one yet. I am glad to hear that. Almost there. And there we go. Right where we left off. An encounter with a couple of drones on the rooftop. All Fuji drones. 3 floaters and 2 tracked ones. See if we can do some damage. You'll love to see it. Drones naturally should not come with any of the augments that allow them to catch grenades back, so we can get them even through the cover. You get 400 bricks naturally from watching the streams. That's how it usually works. At least last time I checked, that's how it worked on Twitch. That was a very good shot. Now then, Tell me, Duncan, can you nail that one? I think you can. You'll love to see it. Let's see what do they have besides those pea shooters. How is that a flank shot anyway? No idea. I'm not gonna check on that right now because we got bigger fish to fry. Now, can you hit them over here? Yeah, right there. That's a miss, but not too critical. Usually get 10 or 50. Maybe that's just some of your mod privileges coming in clutch. Could be that. Definitely could be that. Now, Rector, how about you give another couple of APs to your drone? And make it better at shooting. Because we do have a couple of drones to take care of. And a one. And a two. I think I'll even throw in a Cavalier frag grenade over here. Wonderful. Ah, it's because you're a return viewer. Well, yeah, that should also work. Yeah, the drones definitely cannot stand up to us, which is somewhat expected. Otherwise, we would have been in serious trouble. And down the elevator we go. Where we'll end up, we don't know. Probably not too much guards in there. If we're lucky. Convenient ley line over there. So there will be more combat, of course. Knock knock. You step into the opulently appointed penthouse to the sound of voices. Several adults are scattered about the room, with one standing in front of a young teenager. The young girl is engaged in an argument with a woman whose nose has a long scar over it, and whose body language speaks of wariness. Little girl, I don't care what the Fuchi team told you. I'm freelance and I know exactly what my contract states. It says that I keep you here, in this penthouse, and that you don't get to leave or receive any visitors unless Mr. Johnson says so. Simple as that. Oh, you're a Shadowrunner then. The girl, your target, Lillian Lai, growls under her breath. Why you gotta be that way? You're more pig-headed than an actual pig. She looks past the bodyguard and spots you. Her eyes go wide, but she doesn't say anything. Practice, girl. A lot of practice and a lot of years working for MET 2000. I get paid really well for what I do, but I do not get paid to listen to bullshit. The scarred woman narrows her eyes at Lai. Look at me when I'm talking to you. She ignores the scarred woman and continues to look past her toward you. With a quick flick of her wrist, she dismisses the woman's command. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. We done here? Annoyed, the scarred woman glances over the shoulder and locks eyes with you. Oh well, looks like some freelancers. She turns to face you with a slow confidence, and the Fuchi guards follow suit. Nobody move, and nobody has to get hurt. 3.1k, if you ever decide to add a commercial break redeem, I will spam it. I know you're evil like that. Well, maybe nobody has to, but it sure seems likely, doesn't it? She glances left and right at the Fuchi guards, gesturing for them to remain calm. The name's Conair. Izane Conair. Looks like we've got a problem. You're a freelancer, and so am I. I'm getting paid to guard this girl, and you must be getting paid to take her out of here. Izane clenches a fist and pops each knuckle independently. Seems like it'll be you against me. Wu grits his teeth and snorts. Lady, we killed nastier stuff than you on our way to the subway. Izane folds her arms with a smirk. Come on, I'm a professional. You think I feel threatened by my own kind? We don't have to fight. Oh yeah? How do you figure? Izane crosses her arms over her chest, waiting. It will be free money, all 12 cents per ad. You're freelance. You might pose a threat to me. The goons at your back, though, they're just cannon fodder. Izane cocks her head, eyeballing you warily. She doesn't make any move to attack. Oh yeah? What makes you say that? Look at us. We're obviously prepared to kill anyone who gets in our way. We're expecting to. That in turn means that we're certain your Fuchi friends will afford us no significant difficulty. To wit, we will kill all of them without breaking a sweat. Perhaps you aren't being paid enough to face us with so little backup. Izane purses her lips, eyes locked on yours. I guess that's one way of looking at it. She nods suddenly. Yeah, okay. This job isn't make or break for me, and I don't particularly like Fuchi to begin with, so I think that I'm gonna go get a sandwich or something. The Fuchi security officers in the room make no move to leave, but exchange nervous glances with one another. Izane looks over to the other Fuchi guards in the room. Hey, if you guys want to stay here and bleed, be my guests. Personally, I only like earning money that I like to spend. As she starts to walk toward the door, the rest of the Fuchi officers quickly follow. And that's pretty much how Fallout's Terrifying Presence perk works. With more Duke quotes like, I'm gonna rip off your neck and shit down your throat. Or some such. That's right, scatter, scatter. Now Lily? The girl watches the guards file out of the room and grabs her head in astonishment. Are you kidding me? You just talked them into leaving so that you could walk me right on out of here. Nice. Very nice. Yep, so let's get a move on. We don't have all day. Just a sec. Lily bends over and adjusts the buckle on her left shoe. Ready. Okay, cool. Let's book it. I'm betting that Izane is calling in backup right now. Balls, 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 balls of steel. Steel. I think I nailed the intonation of that one. At least that's how it went in the original. And in order to escape, we go back where we came out of, but let's have a look around. Maybe there's something we can loot in here. Like this Krait stick. How much? 250. Alright. And a healing salve over by the kitchen. Or I think that's the bathroom. Oh, and Lily is actually our controllable character, so let's be careful with her. This is an escort mission, but the escort is being controllable by us. As you rush down the hallway, Jomo's image blinks to life on your PDA. His face has been painted neon by the reflected light in the cockpit, and the ambient drone of spinning rotors threatens to drown out his voice. Ah, bad news, my friend. Jomo cannot land on Icon Tower right now. Whatever it is that you have done, Fuchi seems to know it. Their anti-air missiles have come online. They tell me that I must leave or be shot down. Time for a new plan, then. Get down to the street. Fuchi may control the air around Icon, but the streets are for everyone. If you can find a nice open area, I will lend a helicopter to pick you up. In the meantime, I will call to change the meet location for the girl's pickup. We'll have to do it in front of Icon. Jomo won't risk being shot down with a girl aboard. Fuchi won't risk a corporate war by firing surface-to-air missiles into a public street. Maybe they'll try if she were a high-ranking executive, but they won't stick their necks out over a teenage girl. They could still get trigger-happy with their soldiers, though. I hope that your uncle's protection team is well-trained, Miss Lai. Duncan always been the level-headed professional. Lily tentatively steps from the elevator and glances up and down the hallway. She looks at you, her relief plain. Alright, the coast is clear. Wish we could ride all that the way to the ground floor, but this building is so big they've staggered the shafts. Keeps the rabble from getting up to the top floor from the shopping mall. We'll have the elevator hop to keep going down. As for this sector of the building... She coughs and shoves her face into her elbow to stifle the following wheezes. A few seconds later, she lowers her arm, clears her throat. Excuse me. You okay? That didn't sound good. Lily waves a hand dismissively. It's nothing, just dust in my nose. As I was saying, I think that this level just contains a bunch of mixed rooms, offices and meeting rooms, and maybe some management residences. Probably. Isabel looks toward Lily, surprised, then drops her gaze to the floor. That is an oddly specific remark. Lily smacks a hand to her forehead and lets out a low, frustrated groan. Are you for real right now? Or does your line of work just make you crazy paranoid? You were saying, Lily? The jerks who were holding me captive underestimated my ability to eavesdrop. I'm not stupid. I was trying to listen for ways that I could escape. I overheard them discussing all kinds of things about this building. Please. Let's just find an elevator that'll take us to the plaza level, okay? I remember the jerk brigade bringing me through a shopping center. It's a little blurry, but I think it should be near the ground floor. Then we can get out of here. Got it. Anything else you remember that might be useful to us? Her nose scrunches as she considers your question. She rolls forward and backward on her heels. Just that there are a lot of people in Icon Tower. Fucci probably won't lock the whole place down, there'd be too much backlash, which means that there might be other ways out of this building. Let's look around then. Because there might be some company up ahead. Especially if we go by all those ley lines. Anyone here? Just another corridor. And over here we get an exit that's currently locked. So I'm guessing this is where the reinforcements will be pouring from. Maybe. Over here we get a storage room, which would be actually very useful for Koshei. Well, out you go. Might as well immediately give it more AP. A gas stove. This gas range is a rarity in the age of microwave induction stoves. Judging by the row of woks and large pots nearby, someone who works on this floor must be a fan of traditional Chinese cooking. Something much harder to do without large amounts of open flame. Examine the stove more closely. The gas hose that connects to the back of the range looks loose. Strips of peeling duct tape from a tenuous seal between the hose and the oven. How sloppy. With a sudden hiss, propane begins filling the room. It would be wise to leave the area before a stray spark causes an explosion. Now, will it blow? Not yet, it looks like. So we continue on our way there. There it is. As the sound of the gas explosion fades, you hear the trump of boots in the distance. Duncan glances over at you. Well, sounds like that got somebody's attention. Hopefully they'll be too busy investigating the fire to notice us. Keypad over here, which naturally will require the code, or maybe we can hack it. No, definitely a code. Then we'll need to look around. Now, Binchiling is all about ice cream. Yep. We should be able to sneak by, right? At least after we get through here. Let's just calmly speak to that Fuji executive. An irate man, probably an executive by the meticulously groomed look on him, towers over a cringing security guard. The guard's data slate is clutched tightly to her chest, but her face is turned away from the man. She flinches as he unleashes a tirade of condescension peppered with insults. Young woman, I am Jens Rasmussen, the Vice President of Shipping for Fuji Orbital Dynamics. Derision drips from his tongue as he addresses the woman in a slow, loud voice. I am one of the highest-ranking executives in this city, and this keycard gives me access to those elevators. I don't care what that explosion was. I am leaving this floor. The guard shrinks away from him. Her voice sounds small in comparison, but there's force behind it. I'm sorry, sir, but regulations state that you must remain on this floor while the other guards investigate the fire alarm. I have specific orders from my superiors. All non-essential persons are restricted from leaving at this time. The executive twists his torso, turning to face you. His mouth is curled into a sneer. Can you believe this? The nerve of these people! As he turns back, the fabric of his jacket shifts. You can't help but notice the way that the material gathers on his hips as it moves. You've seen this before. He's wearing a pair of concealed holsters. Smart of him. You're lucky to have a job at all, you insolent cretin. The important people on this floor have places to be. Excuse me, Mr. Rasmussen. Can I have a private word with you? He rolls his eyes, huffing imperiously. Yes? What on earth do you want from me? He steps away from the elevator guard. She turns away, muttering into her comlink. I don't know you, do I? I don't believe that we've ever even spoken before. You don't know me, no, but I know that the average corporate VP doesn't pack heat like that on the job. His eyes narrow, irising to pinpoints. A swift and mechanical response. They must be enhanced in some subtle way. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Very perceptive of you. Now lower your voice, if you please. We wouldn't want to attract any undue attention. Don't worry. I know a face man when I see one, and I have no interest in giving you away. And I know a fellow Shadowrunner. I'd marked you as soon as you walked into the room. He jerks his head in Lily's direction. An extraction job, I take it? Best of luck. It's always good to meet a fellow runner. Maybe we can help each other out. The best way that you can help me is by keeping my cover intact. You have already intuited that I am not Jens Rasmussen, but I need you to continue acting as though I were. My handle is Awian. If you're ever in Sweden, look me up. But for now, you must forget all of this and treat me with the deference that you would a real Fuchi VP. He gives Lily a significant glance. I won't blow your cover if you don't blow mine. Lily nods up at him wide-eyed. Oh yes, sir, Mr. Vice President. It's a real honor to meet a Fuchi executive of your stature. She smiles up at you through clenched teeth, her head bobbing enthusiastically. Looks like little Lily here has spoken, and she's the one who writes the checks. What a charming niece you have there, friend. His voice regains the imperious bluster as it originally carried. He smooths the fabric of his coat with one hand as the elevator guard warily returns to her attention to him. Now, about that elevator... What's going on here? The other guards all ran off. Something about a fire alarm and an explosion. This security officer was about to let me use the elevator if she knows what's good for her. After all, I can ensure that she's demoted once I return to Denmark. The guard raises a shaky hand and points her pen towards the exec. I just told you that I can't. No one has given me the all-clear yet, and now we're getting incoming reports of a small fire on this floor. Mr. Rasmussen, please be patient. One of the other Fuchi employees speaks up, shouting at the guard. This is insane! There's a fire on this floor, and you're keeping us here because of some stupid regulation? Do you want us to burn to death? Despite her obvious nervousness, the security guard holds her ground. The building's automated monitoring systems show the fire is limited to one room on this floor. Automated firefighting drones and all of those guards that were here are handling the situation. If there is a danger of it spreading, then, and only then, will I be authorized to let you leave. By that time, it could be too late. Would it do any harm to let people with the high-level clearance through? The guard fidgets with her clipboard, glances back and forth between you and the Fuchi executive. You see her brow furrow, and her mouth forms a straight line. Her eyes fix on the clipboard in her hands. I suppose not. I could let people with high-level clearance through. Jens flings his wrists into the air. Finally! What a mess this has been. I'll make certain that your superiors hear about this. Now excuse me, I have a meeting to attend. I'm with him. The guard's free hand flies up to stop you. Absolutely not! This man's paperwork checks out. You, however, are staying right here. If you don't let me on that elevator, I'll make sure there is a BG-122 misconduct form on your boss's desk by this time tomorrow. You wouldn't. Mr. Rasmussen has the appropriate permissions. The procedures surrounding his situation are a little nebulous, but you aren't him. I can't just let you waltz out of here alongside him. If anyone asks, this man here is an associate of mine. Now, my new friend and I have business to attend to. Step aside. The security guard's eyes dart around the room as if searching for an answer for her dilemma. They eventually return to her clipboard. Her shoulders droop and she steps carefully to the side, enough for you and Jens to pass her. You may proceed. Rasmussen throws a smug look in your direction. Easy. Ways to be prepared, or at least improvise. After all, plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. Lily lets out a breath with a small, satisfied noise. Her pallid skin tone flushes for just a moment as she smiles. Yep, this is what I remember. Shops and restaurants and all that jazz. The exit should be nearby. Let's cross our fingers that there aren't too many security guards. If it comes down to a fight, you know the drill. Hide and you don't die. The girl narrows her eyes and puckers her lips in annoyance. Dude, I'm a freaking pro at this point. Have you even seen my hiding skills? Of course you haven't, because I'm that good. She holds her palm and turns her head away. Her voice is tinged with sarcasm. Thanks for the brilliant tactical advice, Con Ming. Of course I'll take cover. Won't be that much of a rescue if the rescuees die, will it? Just trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Lily's posture loosens. She cuffs hard into her hand and then studies the floor at her feet before looking up at you apologetically. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Thanks or something. Glad to see that you've got my best interests in mind. You're a little brat. You may need correction, but you're alright. Now then, let's have a little look around. Suspicious save, but nothing too serious just yet. Don't worry, correction in another way. And who's that guy over here? A troll of European descent stands by a rack of flowers, flower bulbs, decorative grasses, and small similar accoutrements. He watches several security officers in the main plaza but looks away as you approach. His name tag reads Danny Spanecki, and his expression is one of abject boredom. When he speaks, it is in a flat monotone. Hello and welcome to the Eightfold Floral Sanctum, providing fun shui for your heart. How may I be of service? Spanecki, huh? So you're not a local? The troll sighs and nods, his eyes turning toward the floor. Yeah, that's right. I'm from Chicago. My brother is a bake shop manager with Fuji, so when they moved him out here to Hong Kong, I thought I'd open a flower shop. You know, Japanese building, and they love ikebana. Sounds like you're not enjoying it very much. Danny cocks his head, looking genuinely confused. What? No, I love this place. The people are so polite, everything's orderly and has a routine, and business is great. You wouldn't believe the number of people who want floral arrangements in Hong Kong. Oh, wait, you mean my voice? It's just the way I talk. I'm sorry if it puts you off, but it's really a lovely building and a lovely city. How'd you get into flowers? It just sort of happened. You know how it is. One thing leads to another, and sooner or later you find yourself in a foreign country, selling flowers to corporate executives who wouldn't give you the time of day if you were in their home country. You know, because you're a troll. I goblinized and my brother didn't, so the non-Japanese branches of Fuji are okay with him being an executive. My mom always seems to think that I resent him for it, but why would I? He's making all that money in big boring office and I get to be down here, interacting with customers. Isn't that great? Right. Anyway, let's talk about something else. If you like, I'm here to listen. So this is a flower shop? That's right. We provide bouquets, wreaths, funeral floral arrays, trellises, ikebana, cascades, nosegays, and assorted topiary. Services include consultation, arrangement, event planning, and hypoallergenic gene-spliced floral variants. Danny plows ahead, deadpan voice never once betrayed a hint of emotion. Remember, if you can dream it, we can create it. No job is too big and no detail too small for the eightfold floral sanctum. Remember us in a happy times and sad weddings and funerals, anniversaries and divorces. Feng Shui. Of the heart. What's with the guards? They're not letting anyone out of the building unless they have executive clearance. Something about a security situation. Not my business. Is there some other way out? She's tired and needs a nap, doesn't she? Children get so tired when you spend all day shopping. She must be getting irritable. Isabel looks at Lily, smirking. It's been a long day, and she's never quite right without her afternoon nap. Lily's eyes shoot daggers. She grits her teeth, only managing to growl out her words out with great effort. Yes, I am very, very tired. Well, Danny pauses, glancing toward the door at the back of the room. There might be another way out through the service hallways, but I couldn't unlock the door. Against regulations. Come on, what's the harm in letting us check? I've got a kid with me. What kind of trouble could I get into? Danny considers this for a moment, and then fishes out around in his pocket to produce a battered plastic keycard. Well, I suppose that you have a point there. Just don't burn anything down, okay? Thanks, Danny. You're a real one. See ya. Huh. A data jack point. Another keypad. What we have here, however... just some shamanic supplies. Don't mind if I do. Four 6 Nature Elemental Fetish. That'll come in handy at some point, I'm hoping. Knock knock, just gotta... The break room is redolent with the smell of instant coffee, prepackaged steamed buns, and stale cigarette smoke. Classic. A trio of Fuchi retail workers are in residence. Two have their eyes glued to a Cantonese language variety show, and the third is fiddling with a dented electric tea kettle. As you enter, the tea kettle tinkerer glances back at you. Hey, this break room is for employees only. What the heck do you think you're doing back here? Despite her proclamation, she doesn't lift her eyes from the tea kettle she's holding for more than a split second. Her lips curl back, and she begins muttering into her breath. What's wrong with you now, you stupid thing? Mind if I take a look? I might be able to fix whatever's wrong. The Fuchi employee blinks a few times, taken aback at the offer. After a moment, she tosses you the kettle. Here, knock yourself out. You help me get my tea, I don't care if you hang out in here. Prying off the bottom of the tea kettle's heating element, you quickly isolate the problem. The heat regulation dial has become unhooked from the power supply, rendering the kettle inert. A few quick twists of wire later, and you reconnected the power. Replacing the bottom, you toss the kettle back. The employee cautiously fills the tea kettle and places it back on its base. Within seconds, the thing is bubbling away in front of her, and she nods in satisfaction. She doesn't even turn back around. If anyone asks, you were never here. Just don't break anything, okay? Another Fuchi employee, a store manager of some kind, glances over his shoulder and hisses at the woman by the tea kettle. Would you please be quiet? I'm trying to watch Mate-san's segment, and I can't hear you with all your chattering. For a moment, she looks like she's about to say something cutting to the man watching the trid. Instead, she bites her lower lip and turns back to her newly functional kettle. All the while, the Fuchi manager remains engrossed in his trid program. Tea. Maybe even green one. Then again, I've never been a fan of green tea. I like my tea Earl Grey, with occasional honey. The Fuchi manager doesn't bother looking back toward you, his eyes remaining quiet to the trid. Glued to the trid. If he cares that you're in here, he certainly isn't showing it. Thank you. Coffee. Green tea. Oh, Isabel, in you go. Let's see what you can find. I guess we just gotta run past them. Kinda like that. What do we have here? Automated package delivery system. Alright. Ready? Let's do this thing. Activate it. Yep, still got me here. But I think I'll be able to get you right back up. Never mind that. That's one portal taken care of. What do we have here, I wonder? Well, same setup. Ah, you caught me in the right moment. Fine. Guess we'll do it the hard way. And there are points in time when I'm starting to sound like Mountain General. He's a pretty great YouTuber, by the way. Mostly does Hoi 4 content. I should take a page out of his book. I don't know, if Armor were here, he would have backed me up on that one. But that's a story for another time. Over here we got, ooh, Shadowrun dossiers. Funny. Izane Conair. What do we know about her? This file is full of personal information on Izane Conair. It includes a plan to blackmail her into working full-time for Fuji with an understanding that she will be sent on missions considered too dangerous for company employees. Typical. Of course, you also catch me in here, but you won't catch me another time because you will be dead in just about a second. Gentlemen, we were never here. Can we leave through here, I wonder? But we do need a key for that one. And that one is locked? Yes, looks like it's locked. Unfortunately. I don't want to go loud just yet, so let's consider what options do we have. Maybe if we were to look around a little more. Say, Danny, you wouldn't know anything about that door now, would you? Nope, does not look like it. We're obviously not going to be dealing with those people. I suppose we can speak to that red-haired elf if we are careful. Across the plaza, a number of guards are arrayed near the exit. Their faces are attentive and their eyes scan the crowd every few seconds. People who pass near them have their IDs checked and are noted down in the commander's PDA. Uh-oh. Wu shifts uneasily, casting his gaze around the rest of the plaza. There's no way we're getting past those guards without a fight. Either we shoot first or we stay the hell away from them. Maybe we can find another way out of this plaza level, or at least some kind of distraction that we can make. Let's look around. There's got to be something we can use. My thoughts exactly, Lily. So, you there. Red-haired elf, the girl of my dreams. An elf is casually perched against the counter near the back of the store. In her right hand, she holds a delicate ceramic teacup filled with a pink-tinted tea. Her eyes are closed. She brings the cup up to her nose and swirls its contents. Inhales, then with a single confident flick, she flings the teacup's liquid over her shoulder. It hits the ground with a splash. You notice that the ground behind the counter is wet. Very wet. Looks like that wasn't the first cup of tea to grace the floorboards. The elf's eyes flutter open. She turns to you with a sad frown on her face. Really, I thought I had it that time. Had what? The perfect aroma to accompany my new tea. I call it an existential crisis while stargazing at dawn. Or peach dew. I'm torn between the two. I've nearly got it. The taste is there, but the smell... I guess I'll have to brew another batch, but this time maybe a hint more cinnamon. She shakes her head and looks at you. Her disappointment quickly transforms into a wide-eyed, beaming smile. She leans in close. My name is Wichita Red, but you can just call me Red. What brings you to my tea shop? I've got a bit of an off-topic question about this building. Oh yeah? What about it? I'm looking for a way... I found a secure door in the drone room and I really need to get in there. Do you know the code? If it's secure, then it's probably that way for a reason. Plus, the place is full of security codes. Not anyone remembers them all. I noticed that a few of your boxes have drone scanner SKUs on them. Seems to me that if your inventory is delivered by drones, you might need to get back there from time to time, and you'd need the door key for that. Red carefully pours herself a cup of the freshly brewed tea. Her eyes stay locked onto the steaming liquid. You're absolutely right. But unfortunately for you, I love my job and I wouldn't jeopardize it for anything. Well, inventing original brews must be pretty costly. All those failed batches and wasted ingredients. Maybe we can help each other out, huh? Her eyes glance at the new yen on the table. She mutters to herself. I really could use a new steam infuser. Really brings out the subtler flavor of herbs. She thrusts her arms into the air and stretches them above her head in an exaggerated yawn. As her arms drop, her hand lands on your proffered Krait stick and she slides it slowly toward herself. With a quick tuck into her pocket, she swipes the stick and hands it back. She removes a pen from her jacket and busily scribbles something on the back of a tea sample packet. Red's mouth curls into a mischievous smile. Drone room door. This ought to get you through it. Thank you. By the way, about your tea. Changed the mind? I've got quite the selection here. We can start at the beginning if you'd like. Would an alphabetic breakdown work best for you, or would you prefer to go type by type? Another time, Red. I need your help with something else right now. Oh, okay. You'll come around, you know. So what do you need? Is there a cargo bay or storage room on this floor? Sure is. Like I could fit all my teas into this tiny store. You'll find both of them just across the way. Of course, you need the right credentials to access it. What do you ask? Just wanted to make sure that your teas are stored somewhere where they can't be contaminated. Contaminated? Oh no, not here. I sell only the finest, purest teas available, and I personally inspect each load we've delivered. You can count on quality here. That's all I needed to know. Maybe I'll hit your tea parlor up at some point. In any case, good luck with that, Wichita Red. And what do we have over here? The label on the side of this complicated pile of machinery reads Fuji Full Spectrum Sensory Mat 20509. A small handwritten note beneath says, Official use only. There aren't any visible controls, just a solitary chip slot and a few diagnostic ports. I've seen these before. It's an all-in-one 3D entertainment system. They use them for holidays and special events. You know, interact with Fuji's collection of mascots during a product launch or get to see So and Go during the Moon Festival. Pretty neat piece of tech, and it makes fairly convincing trade projections. Well, we can't do much with it right now, so I suppose we can continue on our merry way there. Oh, and before we do that, let's check out this shop. Nothing interactable, but they do sell treads by the looks of it. Or, excuse me, it's a boutique. Oh, I definitely don't want to be there. Not my style, not my place. Now, what was that code? 9900. You can, of course, try and guess the codes by yourself, but usually it pays to be just a little more observant. And let's swap us some pharmaceuticals. Here, Lily, hold on to these. You'll need them. I guarantee you that. And out we go. You lead Lily and Lai out of Icon Tower, taking care to ensure that this public street in front of you is clear of guards. Central Hong Kong is surprisingly quiet. There is very little foot traffic at this hour, and only the occasional delivery van rolls by on the street in front of you. Time to make contact with the mercenaries working for Yamatetsu and hopefully get clear of the Fuji forces behind you. That was easy. I do that dramatic thing where I look at you and all suspiciously and say, too easy, but let's be honest, this is real life, and sometimes real life gives you freebies. Like that one time where I actually won an instant cooker. Lily takes note of her surroundings. We're close now, almost free from this stupid tower. I think that we've made a good impression so far, don't you? Yeah, that ought to teach Fuji not to fuck with me. Her hands clamped out on her mouth. Crap, please don't tell my uncle I said that. Please, I'd never hear the end of it. Don't worry, kid, around us you can swear like a sailor. I suppose these are the guys. A large, heavily armored mercenary steps forward. You notice the high-tech assault rifle in his right hand, its barrel pointing towards the ground. The man looks ready to shoot at a moment's notice. He peers down at Lily and his pupils flicker like a camera shutter. The mercenary speaks, a rumbling sound, but his mouth is covered from sight by a tall coat collar. Miss Lillian Lai. His pupils flicker again as they enlarge to examine the girl. Lieutenant Vergara. Lily moves to clap him on the side, but due to her height, she ends up smacking his hip. She looks awkwardly up at him and scowls. You and yours had better save me from this nightmare, Lieutenant. Am I right to assume that you are the one who'll be delivering me to my uncle? The mercenary's green eyes narrow. Yeah, uncle. He looks warily over his shoulder. We need to get a move on, Miss Lai. Somewhere safe. We're too exposed here. Are you ready? We should be. I'll have to pilot our pilot to bring his copter around. Shit. You hear the leather grip of the assault rifle squeak as Vergara's grip tightens. With his other hand, he points past you. Not fast enough. Well, shit. However, an exceptionally calm elf strides to the front of the Fuji security forces. He's slight in build compared to the guards surrounding him, but has an awareness about him that suggests the quick reflexes of a skilled adept. His voice is quiet, languid. It seems to command the attention of those listening. That will be far enough. He gives you a shallow bow. I am Captain Huang. My men and I are here to retrieve what you've stolen from us. Isaiah Conair steps next to him, a half-eaten sub sandwich in one of her hands. Hey, Kinda surprised you managed to get out of the building. Izane tilts the sub toward you with a nod. She begins talking, but her words are difficult to make out, in no small part due to the sandwich stuffed inside her mouth. Yeah, lunch. Sorry for calling you in the cavalry, but you know how it is. I'm still on the clock. Captain Honk's hand flies up and swats the sandwich from Izane's grasp. It hits the ground with a muffled splat, marinara sauce puddling on the ground around it. Izane stares at the sub, her mouth frozen mid-chew, hand now clutching air. Horn gives her a smile, but his eyes remain hard. Like you said, on the clock. Vergara steps forward. This is a public street. Last I checked, Fuchi doesn't hold any territory rights to Queensway. Do you really want to start a fight out here? Hon arches an eyebrow. The corner of his mouth curls up in amusement. It's common knowledge that Yamatetsu's position on the Executive Council is weaker than Fuchi's. We'll pay whatever fine we accrue, a small cost to keep you from kidnapping her. He nods toward Lily, whose tiny body is almost completely hidden behind Vergara's bulky frame. Duncan drags his hand over his face in frustration. You're calling us kidnappers? Fuchi took Lily first. Hell, we found her locked up inside a room here, in a Fuchi building. Ah, is that what you were told? Then I understand your confusion. You see, Miss Lillian is not from Yamatetsu. Rather, she is under the employ of Fuchi, and a company executive no less. Vice president of her division. Fuchi must be pretty desperate if they resorted to hiring tweens. Izane purses her lips and nods thoughtfully. I've got to agree there. Is this some sort of program for school credit or something? Vergara cuts in, his patience thinning. Don't let this suit get to you. No, he's not lying, but he's also leaving out important details. Lillian isn't a child, she's a woman-turned-child. The lieutenant points an accusing finger at Hong. By Fuchi. You're gonna have to explain that to me, I don't follow you. The corporation offered Lillian a series of Leonization treatments. You may have heard of the process. It's a complex method of rejuvenating a subject and returning them to the health and fitness of a much younger person. Sort of a fountain of youth, if you will. But what these dogs didn't tell her is that she was their guinea pig for a new experimental Leonization procedure. They fucked up. Look at her. The experiment made her too young. It damaged her genetic makeup. And now... I'm dying. Lily's voice is suddenly quiet and serious. Not only do I look like a teenager, their treatment gave me a host of autoimmune disorders. Lily's small figure steps out from behind Vergara. She raises her hands in a loose shrug. So, what's a girl to do? Fuchi Medical Services are no help. Said they can't cure me, but Yamatetsu here can. Truth is that Fuchi locked me up inside my own goddamn penthouse. Didn't want their botched experiment getting out. A rage seizes her body and Lily whips her head towards Juan. But to hell with that. I want to live. I didn't spend my life in servitude to Fuchi to end in unbirth. Lily doubles over, her hands clutching her knees to stay upright as a deep cough wrecks her body. The anger fades from her face, which turns a gentle pink from the strain of coughing. She looks at you, her eyes tired, and speaks through intermittent coughs. You're not rescuing me. You're extracting me. But the mission remains the same. I need to be taken to a safer place. I need to be delivered to Yamatetsu. I knew it. There's been something weird about this, about you, from the very beginning. You've been dragged into quite a mess, Shadowrunner, but you're still being deceived. Hoang's calm voice cuts through the air, and the Fuchi troops behind him cease their muttering to listen. Fuchi can save her. However, Miss Lai has been fed misinformation from Yamatetsu. Lieutenant Vergara's knuckles whiten as his fists clench tight. His stare is venomous. More Fuchi lies. True, I purposefully withheld details before, but only to prevent this situation from getting too bogged down with irrelevancies, though it seems that now I have no choice. Lillian, Yamatetsu is not here to save you. They're here to acquire you, dissect you, learn what processes Fuchi used to make you what you are today, and steal that knowledge for themselves. We have proof of this. Our communications engineers haven't been tapping these Yamatetsu soldiers' comlinks. Their orders are quite clear. Vergara rounds on Lily, his voice desperate. Are you seriously going to believe this man after what Fuchi did to you? He's just biding his time. Probably has backup reinforcements on the way here now. We need to move. Now. Miss Lai, should you leave with this crew, you'll be walking to your death. We have undeniable proof of Yamatetsu's motives behind this extraction. I'll gladly share our records of this with you. You deserve to know. Fuchi can help you, Miss Lai. Perhaps even reverse the process. We can't guarantee that you'll recover completely, but perhaps a little. And at the very least, you'll be alive. Think about it. Alive. We can reinstate some of your privileges, give you some freedom back. You could live life functionally again under Fuchi's care. You're valuable to us, Lillian. We would not kill you like Yamatetsu would. Yeah, talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can't be quite sure their so-called proof is real. You wouldn't even find out until you were back in their possession, and by then it'd be too late. Come with us. Yamatetsu wants to help you, Lily. We'll use all of our resources to figure out what they've done to you and keep you alive. With what we learned from you, we can even go on to perfect this kind of Leonization, and we can use the technology to surpass Fuchi in biological sciences. No! The sound of Lily's shrill voice rings in your ears. She stands apart from Vergara now. Her eyes dart back and forth between the lieutenant and the captain. You both suck! Your options are shitty, that's for sure. Neither of these men care about me. I'm just a thing to them. Property to be fought over. Maybe neither of one can help me. Maybe neither should. Or maybe it'd be better if I just died. I don't know. What do you think? I just don't know. Lily looks up at you, her eyes clouded and wet but stubbornly refusing to cry. She looks frail. Her limbs shake and she is covered in a light sweat. You can practically see the shroud of death hanging off of her. Who do we back in this one? Fuchi, Yamatetsu, or neither? Both options are not exactly cut and dry, so to speak. And this time, I am going to ask your opinion. With what information we are working with, how would you proceed? Because if we do go with a third option, we will have a harder fight on our hands. But maybe it is the correct one. Then again, what does Lily get out of this other than a peaceful death on her own terms? Decisions. If we go with Fuchi, we hand her back to them, and possibly they possibly treat her, or they possibly stick her back into her penthouse to wither away. If we go with Yamatetsu, they may cure her, but they may as well, as Captain Huang here mentioned, cut her up for research. But sure, your instincts are right. Neither one of these corporations deserves to get their hands on you. You're nothing but an object in their eyes, so to hell with them. If I've learned anything about after all this, it's to never trust a corporation. Both are making such pretty promises to save my life, but it's all hot air. They'll each say whatever I want to hear to keep me out of the other's hands. For all I know, they could pop me one in the back of the head soon as we're being closed doors. Shove me in a freezer. Peel me apart layer by layer. I can take that chance. I'm already dying. I've got a weak tops. I'd rather die than let either of one of these corps take me into their custody. Don't be stupid. The girl's just confused. We're taking her back to Yamatetsu. Hong's even expression temporarily contorts into one of confusion. A moment later, it washes away into a simple frown. Miss Lai, my direct orders are to retrieve you on behalf of Fuchi. By force, if necessary. Lily raises her right hand. All but one of her fingers folded down. Just try it! Come on, we don't need to bring violence into this. Just let it go. The time for bargaining has passed. Ong snaps his fingers. At the sound, the soldiers of both corporations leap into action. Gotta protect Lily. Still. And of course, we're gonna need to kill all of them. Shame that we no longer have a use for dossier on Isane. Because if we're being honest, this might hurt. That's what I like to see as well. Come on, Duncan, I'm gonna need you to be better than that. Now that was a hit. Okay. I think I got a Dock Wagon Trauma Gold kit on me. But we are definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place in here. Without a doubt. Here comes more. That is gonna hurt. Definitely gonna hurt a lot. They're not too keen on fighting it out. Or maybe they are. We're just kinda stuck in the way. So there is no need for heroics, we just need to... Hey, don't you touch... Don't you bring down Isabel? Jesus Christ, how many of you are there? And I get 3 turns before I go down. Anyone get a trauma kit? Besides Duncan? Doesn't look like it. But it's not like we got another choice. What's our objective again? Kill corporate security forces. Can stop blasting me, that'd be much appreciated. I don't think they will. Now I am dead in 3 turns. This is definitely not taking a turn for the better. So is Raptor. Yeah, we bit off more than we can chew on this one. So unfortunately, this fight is currently beyond us. We'll have to pick a side, it seems. Highly unfortunate. Let's see, rewind to, where was it? No, not the Bantang. We just have to load. Unless, of course, it turns out that this was right at the start of the combat, in which case I am going to be somewhat disappointed in myself and in my rash decisions. But let's find out. No, looks like we weren't. Oh, the ley lines shifted, which is... No, they were always there. so let's just get into positions as best as we can tell. This time I think we're gonna try and side with Commander Vergara. Yeah, don't worry, spur of the moment. Leave it to me. Yeah, sometimes you're not strong enough to do the right thing, and that vexes me greatly. Your options are shitty. Lily, what do you want to do? Neither of these men care about me. I'm just a thing to them. Property to be fought over. Fuchi's already betrayed you once, but you haven't even seen what Yamatetsu has to offer. Even if you're being passed off from one company to another, Yamatetsu needs you alive to study you. I'm sure they'll do everything they can to keep you that way. When you're right, you're right. If anyone's going to unfuck this, it has to be Yamatetsu. I'll do my best to fill in the blanks for them, give them my medical records, and tell them what I know about my leonization treatments. Their advancements will shame Fuchi in the process. An added bonus. She nods, resolute. Glances at you. Maintain course, Captain. I'm leaving with Yamatetsu. Vergara huffs triumphantly, crosses his arms, his green cyber eyes flicker as he scans Fuchi's forces. You had your chance to cure Lily, Hoang. Now it's our turn. The Fuchi soldiers behind Captain Hoang shuffle into offensive positions. Hoang frowns. A small, almost undetectable motion, but his voice remains flat and calm. How regrettable. You must realize that I can't let you do this, Miss Lai. My direct orders are to retrieve you on behalf of Fuchi, by force if necessary. Any attempt to leave with these people will result in bloodshed. I implore you to reconsider. Aizain, got a file here that I think you'll want to see. Aizain distractedly tugs on her halfway rolled up sleeves. Yeah? What's in it? A dossier with plans to blackmail you into Fuchi exclusive work that ends in a suicide mission. She balks and her eyes bore into you. You've got her attention now. Bullshit. You want it? It's yours, so long as you lend me a hand here. You have to understand, Aizain. I can't give credit. But I am willing to come back when you're a little, reasonable. Aizain stands stock still. She continues to stare at you as if evaluating whether or not you can be trusted. After a brief moment, her shoulders relax. Alright, I'm in. No one plays me like that. And even if that file's full of nothing but old coupons and grocery receipts, I've got a bone to pick with Fuchi. Those assholes made me drop my sandwich. Have it your way. Secure the defector, man. Kill Fuchi security officers. Alright. Monsoon Spirit, here you come. I see a dirty rigger up there. Well, I can't call her waifu material just yet, but I think it'll be worth it. After all, us runners need to stick together. more shot. Ah, of course we miss. But we still have 2 AP. Come on now. There we go. And minus the drone too. Oh, we are actually falling back a little. That makes me feel silly. I'm not willing to become a tip of the spear just yet. So, I suppose we fall back in turn. Time to break out this flashbang grenade as well. Here. Oh. Highly unfortunate. Alright, Spirit. Do the best you can. I said do the best you can. Sometimes your best is not enough, so goodbye. What was that? What was that weird dance? Oh, thank you for that. Always appreciate it. Let's go with a sure hit. And scrape some armor on you as well. Might as well hit you. Now, Isabel, can you continue applying damage? Head on! Apply directly to the forehead. And just like that, the pain is gone. Looks like I got Duncan a bit too far away. Can you hit anything from this? Of course you can. After all, you got the best rifle in the game, or at least one that's pretty damn close. Here come the reinforcements for Fuchi. And our own. Or, no, those are still Fuchi. But this time, I think we can manage to get through this. Even if Captain Horn will try his best to break our buddy there. Surely you can do better than that. I know. You're dead serious and don't call me Shirley. But you do love to see physical adepts in action. Especially when it comes to stuff like this. Sorry about that. But it did get the job done, you know? I'll even make it up to you. See? Now, next up. I believe you will have to go. Sooner rather than later. So if you can stand still a little bit. That's two almost in one place for this. Not too bad. Yet still. You gotta go. You gotta go, little buddy. Same with you, Captain Huang. Also 2 consecutive misses in a row. Very nice. Looks like Commander does not have an attachment that allows him to grab grenades and send them back where they belong. I'll keep that in mind. What kind of gun are you using? Gyro jets? Could be, because those definitely don't look like regular rocket launchers to me. Looks like we got that flank secured pretty tight. But may still need to pitch in. Especially if you do it like that. You'll love to see it. Isabel, will you be able to hit any of these? I have a feeling that the Grenadier will have an advancement that will allow him to throw the grenade back. So let's stick with the Enforcer. Yeah, see? That's precisely what I meant. However, Rector, I would like you to continue buffing Koshei, because that is what you are here to do. There we go, Captain Horn dead. Same with that Grenadier. More. Unfortunate. How many more of you are there? Are you pulling out everyone from the building? At least now we're starting to see some backup arrive. Right? Right? Some things just never change, do they? Right, a man can dream after all. But these crits, you do what you gotta do. I forgot that it's a grenadier. Luckily he missed. Still unpleasant. Rector, would you be able to do something about that? I hope you can. See you in a bit. Come on, Duncan, you can do better than that. Like that, see? Now one more. Almost, almost. That's what I like to see. That is also what I like to see. Now, looks like Koshi is temporarily out of commission. He will be coming back soon enough. I see how it all is. However. We're still holding on. I am optimistic about our prospects so far. We will prevail. You shouldn't have buffed Rector. But what do I know? We can get these assholes dealt with. Yep, Koshi's on auto repair. And if we can, that rigger has got to go. Yeah, no bots. And that's another rigger down. Can the grenadier catch it if I target, say, that captain? You can? That was a bit unpleasant. Always try to hop on when I'm away. I guess tonight is just a bit of a quiet night. I don't like, however, is us missing with a smoke grenade, but hopefully this one remains where it is. Or rather, does not do any damage. Oh, they geeked the mage. Hopefully they won't do the same with the adept. We need all the muscle we can get. And the grenadier is currently a bit of a useless against their own grenadiers. Hey, put up the smoke screen for you. Why are you leaving? Can't quite reach them over there. But maybe if I were to... God motherfucking damn! Can we kick the mage? Almost. I'll get to you in a second. Same with you. Come on, make my day, you asshole. I might need to pull Koshi back a little bit to get him fixed up. Alright, now let's get good going. Now, how about a frag grenade over here? There we go. Precisely what I wanted to see. What else I want to see? This chain lightning bouncing. Like that. Things are starting to look up our way. Let me tell you what. Especially if we keep doing it like that. Well, Duncan, looks like we're on the offensive on this one. And it appears our fortunes are finally starting to turn. Ooh, that was a nice crit. I'm feeling generous, so I say try not to die. And down you go. Very good. 63% chance. 59% chance. Come on. There we go. A little bit of bleeding wouldn't hurt. And Koshei hopefully can now go about to rip and tear. Especially that sniper that's been causing him so much damage. Consider this an act of revenge. Rector, I need you over there, thank you. As for you, Duncan, you can make adjustments. Alright. That would need another round of reloading, so tracer rounds. And we're down to 3 enemies already. Wonderful. We are efficient, aren't we? Now, just a little more. One more. There we go. And there's Lily. As the echo of gunfire dies and the smell of cordite clears, Lily waves a hand in front of her face, coughing roughly. The street is eerily quiet. Probably owing to the fact that there are no longer any civilians anywhere to be seen. Lily glances toward the dead Fuchi security officers and spits on the ground. Good riddance. With any luck, Yamatetsu will be able to fix Fuchi's horrible screw-up. I'm no scientist, Miss Lai, but I'm fairly certain that their medical facility in Kyoto is more advanced than any of Fuchi's. If any megacorp can undo their damage, Yamatetsu can. Isane grins wryly and nodding toward you. At the very least, they won't try to double-cross you. Thanks for the heads up on that, by the way. I don't really like being used as a pawn. You think that lie will be okay? I hope so. The alternative is pretty grim. I guess I've come too far to turn back now. Onward and upward, right? Lily shrugs, sighing. Company loyalty as a concept is decidedly one-directional. Fuchi wants you to feel loyalty to them, but they'd scrap you the moment it made financial sense to do so. Maybe they could cure you, but chose not to because it was too expensive. The wail of sirens slowly grows in the distance as the HKPF fast response units grow ever closer. Lily wraps her arms around chest and shivers. You'd better get out of here. Call your pilot and have him evac you. I don't think that we'll be able to protect you once the HKPF shows up. And thanks. I'll make sure your money gets to you. You need any more work done? You know how to find me. God, I hope that I never need to hire another Shadowrunner. I mean, no offense, but I don't really feel like getting shot at. You weren't getting shot at in this fight. And that's our cue. I don't think we'll have anything useful to loot over here, so... Jomo, we're out of here. The sea stretches out before you like a black velvet cloth, bare save for the silvery crests of the waves. Hong and his Fuchi security forces are lying dead in the street, and Lily is safely away with Yamatetsu, though you're unsure for how long. Who knows if Yamatetsu will use Lily as a test subject, but Fuchi had their chance to cure her and failed. Maybe this way she'll be able to live longer than a few months, even if it costs her some freedom. As the aircraft descends towards the Benteng, you'll begin gathering your gear and prepare to disembark. $10 karma. Not bad. Before we leave on our next quest, let's see if anything interesting on ShadowNet is up. No new messages in the inbox. There's the old messages. Jobs directory. Claim payment for extracting Lillian Lie. 2,500. Not too bad. I've attached your fee. Thanks again for what you did. I know things didn't go quite as planned. I'm surprised you stuck it out. Yamatetsu has already begun a battery of tests, and they're preparing the first experimental treatments to cure me. Fingers crossed, I might just pull through in one piece. Props to you, Lai. Props to you. Now, Shadowland. Looking for Milk Run. Experienced Decker and a fresh-faced team of runners looking for basic runs. Subcontract your dullest jobs to us. Preferred. No jobs involving experimental stims, secret cam labs, escapes on mopeds, the walled city, underwater pipes, or ferrets. Just to be on the safe side. Message me. Shenzhen Joe. SJ? Wouldn't taking on your dullest jobs make this milk run a bit too, milky? Georgie Corgi. For this team? No. Just this once, and I know that sounds crazy, so hear me out. I want to go on a run where half the team doesn't get riddled with bullets or dissolved in acid or fed into a giant meat grinder. Call me crazy, but I think it'd be a nice change of pace. Hey, SJ, I got a mission that I could probably throw your way. It requires some discreet sewer dredging below a night errant facility. Security should be lax, and the slower stories about awakened crocodiles down there are probably just urban legends. You guys want in? Blinky Gotcha 23. Blink I Gotcha 23. Yes! Perfect! GAC, I don't think our partnership is gonna work out. And where's Pinky Swear? Hello, Shadows. I'm trying to locate Pinky Swear. Last we heard, our paranoid friend was freaking out over robot ants, but it's been quite some time since we spoke. Truth be told, I'm getting genuinely worried. Any tips would be welcome. Oxfist. Yeah, about that haiku stalking. Jackie Chan. You got something? Spit it out. Well, it wasn't Jivebot, or Codex, or whatever the Matrix rumor mill seems to believe. Jackie, as in with a J. I have a sinking feeling that I know what you're about to tell me. Yeah, it was me. After Pinky and I split up, Pinky never changed the door codes. When I figured that out, I thought I'd just, play a harmless prank. You've got a funny definition of harmless. She's probably in the middle of a psychotic break, running through the hills to escape a bunch of imaginary poetry ants. Well, if she's gone, we could raid her apartment. She's got loads of great gear, and she was probably too busy panicking to change the codes. Again. Fuck it. Count me in. When in Rome, I guess. Any paid data for sale we can post? No. Let's see what our team has to say about that previous run. For instance, Ractor. I've taken it upon myself to lend my time and talents to our gracious host, Captain Utama. At present, I'm turning out new engine parts for the Benteng on the lathe. The rest of the machines in the shop are fabricating armor plating to shore up a few weak spots on the hull. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're making an effort to fit in. Fit in? Oh no, my friend. I do not fit in the Benteng. If anything, the kind of skilled labor that I can provide sets me further apart from those who live here. But standing apart can be a good thing, yes? My skills at fabrication help to reinforce our value to our dear captain. So long as I'm turning out armor plates, Utama is unlikely to have us tossed into the sea, yes? Makes sense. What do you think of that last run? I won't lie to you, my friend. The Lily extraction tried my patience. I am not a babysitter, and being forced to endure, indeed to protect, a loud-mouthed brat sent my teeth on edge. In truth, I am rather proud that I was able to restrain Koshi from silencing her permanently. You would have killed a child? Does that surprise you? You already know what I am that I am incapable of feeling remorse. When Koshchei rips men to shreds on the job, I feel nothing save for the warm satisfaction of a job well done. I can't imagine that silencing Lily Lai would have felt any different. The drone stands statue still, motionless save for the ceaseless weaving of its pedipalps. The red glow from its visual sensors pulses as it focuses on you. That said, for the record, I have not harmed any children to date. There are some lines that no civilized man should not cross, regardless of the state of his conscience. I'm glad to hear that we're on the same page then. Fear not, my friend, you have nothing to worry about from me. Considering how things worked out, though, it might have been better for Miss Lai if I had taken her life. It certainly would have been cleaner. For Miss Lai's sake, I hope that her trust in Yamatetsu pays dividends, and that she does not wind up strapped to a dissection table. It's a slim hope, I think. Most likely her organs are already pickling in formaldehyde. But a slim hope is better than none, is it not? Well, you know what they say, hope dies last. Guess I got some time to talk. So, how are the guns? You mean these? Duncan raises his arms and flexes. A broad smile stretches across his normally serious face. You know what I meant, asshole. He puts his arms down and his smile melts into an annoyed frown. Hey, you asked, but it was a shitty question anyway. Really, what the hell, Val? My guns are guns. I give them an operating shape like any decent marksman would. Any other questions? Did you do something to your room? It feels different. No? No, what are you talking about? This reminds me of a story I just heard. What story? Because I'm telling you, I haven't changed anything. I don't want to freak you out, but I think we're in trouble. You can see Duncan's irritation growing. The muscles in his neck tense up. What the hell aren't you telling me? Spit it out. Well, I heard a couple sailors talking about some mysterious drownings around here. It sounded like they were saying a poltergeist was behind the murders. He leans away from you and groans, grabs his face in his hand and talks to the floor. Are you shitting me? A ghost? Is it not the kind of spirit that Gobbet summons, but an actual dead person with rattling chains and a white sheet over his head? Look, the Sixth World is a strange place, but I'm not an idiot, and I'm not about to fall into this half-assed prank of yours. I'm done. Get out. Shh! Do you feel that? It's just the window. I probably left it open. Now stop this. Duncan, you don't have any windows in here. He stops himself and turns to examine the walls. No windows. You watch him run his tongue nervously across his bottom teeth. This is bullshit. There's no such thing as... It's the ghost! Duncan reels backwards, almost tripping over the dilapidated floorboards, and slams into the wall with a thud. His expression changes from shifts to from horror to an embarrassed fury that you haven't seen since you were kids. Motherfucking fuck! He leaps to his feet and roars at you. Get out! His voice suddenly drops in volume to a menacing whisper. Leave. Now. You can tell he's crossed the point of no return. There is no reasoning with him. All you can hear behind you is the heavy panting of Duncan as he watches you walk away. Sometimes you just gotta pull one up on bro. As for you, Isabel, you sense a change in the environment immediately upon entering the room. Seconds later, it hits you. It's quiet in here. The usual drone of beeps, hums, and fans is conspicuously absent. Isabel leans up against the steel table, picking what looks like glass off of a warped circuit board. Her profile is illuminated with a blue-green glow by the glowing screen beside her. So, it all comes down to this. We knew that this was coming. What I find surprising is what's happened in here. Why is it so quiet? Her hand pauses and a piece of glass falls from between her fingers. She hesitates, sets down the circuit board. Had to power everything down, just in case... well, in case something happens and I don't come back. Except for the octopus, that is. The octopus stays on. We'll be back, Isabel. We've lived through a hell of a lot worse. You shouldn't trivialize this mission, Val. Every run could be our last, even the small ones. We're Shadowrunners. You've got to think cautiously. Always. All this time together and you think I'm gonna kick it now? You haven't learned a thing. I die on my terms. The little Decker rolls her eyes at your comment, but the corner of her mouth lifts into a smile. History would tend to agree. Point taken. It seems like you keep yourself pretty busy. Do you ever get bored? Only when I talk to you. Rude. Can't blame you for that one. You walked right into it. I mean, maybe. To answer your question, no. And I find it a wonder that anyone can manage to find themselves bored in this city. Ever. It takes a special kind of creativeness to let yourself get bored here. The only circumstances I found tiresome are when someone dull is talking or if I'm stuck in a job with the wrong people. Green runners, the wait in a haystack for 5 hours before we strike kind of idiots who always die a couple runs into the game. 5 horrible, itchy hours lying in that haystack. I don't want to think about it anymore. You need anything else? What do you think of that last run? I admit when we first found Lily I thought we'd been handed a high-paying babysitting job. She proved to be more capable and also more snarky than I expected. And then some. I'm not happy with her decision to defect to Yamatetsu. I get that she was forced into a tight spot, go back to the corporation that screwed her over, or go to a new one whose intentions were unclear, or abandon both of them and wait to die. I don't blame her for wanting to give Yamatetsu a try. For wanting to live, I'm just not convinced that it was the right choice. Might as well hit up Gobbet. Another glorious day at sea, drinking the pirate's 90-proof desperation beverage and waiting patiently to get back on solid ground. What's up with you, Seattle? What brings you to my humble cabin? What do you think of the Benteng? It's a tricked-out barge that doesn't go anywhere. That makes it a glorified raft. Think back to the last raft we spent a lot of time on. The sinking ship. Think of the shit that went down there. Remember the smell of the killing pit? The disease-ridden rat monsters that tried to eat us? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, well, you already know the answer to your question. It's not that I don't appreciate what the pirates are doing for us. Hell, I kinda like some of them. They're a fun group. I just prefer to hang out on dry ground is all. Her knees flex as she adjusts to a sudden sway of the deck. A rogue wave. After it passes, she puts her hands on her hips and focuses on you. Anyway, what about you, Seattle? Are you enjoying the pirate life? It's a temporary fix for a bad situation, and I'm at peace with that. Sounds like we're on the same page, more or less. Let's just try to make it as temporary as fix as possible, huh? Don't want to spend any more time out here than I have to. And I think we can also speak with Gaichu to finish off tonight's stream. Yes? What else can I do for you? Do you ever think about Ishida and the rest of your team? Ishida, sometimes. The rest, not especially. I have made a concerted effort to put it behind me and move on with my life. Ishida I think about because I wonder if he yet lives as a ghoul or if he has been executed for his infirmity. I hope that he yet lives and that some part of what is left of his mind recalls what he has lost. That way he will perhaps remember how I, the inferior samurai, bested him. But before we end it for tonight, we can at least start the next main quest. So, Jomo, let's finish this. Take me to Typo to face Krait. A trailer for some cut-rate Indonesian horror movie. Ratu Adil versus the Shadow Wizards. I guess Shadow Wizard Money Gang is still out in force in the 6th world. Makes sense. They love casting spells, after all. You sure? Might be a one-way trip. I think we're good to go. Take me there. And for that one, we're bringing our A-team. Isabel, Guy Chu, and Gobbet. Off to Typo we go. You watch the Bentang drift slowly out of view as the drunken mistake bobs turbulently on dark, choppy waves. Angry rain dimples the water's surface and obscures the world around you in a haze. Before long, the warehouses appear on the horizon, great gray silhouettes looming just beyond the docks. Krait and her people are guarding a warehouse here. You don't know what you're going to find inside, but this is the last lead that you have to follow. If the conspiracy within the SDU is going to be stopped, it has to happen tonight, in that warehouse. Chu sits nearby, her fingers pressed into her temples, a sign of her distress, no doubt. But despite her evident discomfort, she still looks present and alert. Taipo, once a small fishing village, now encrusted with cheap industrial warehouses, grows ever closer. Water whips down from the sky as you bump up against the docks. You've arrived. And while we have 11 karma left to spare, I think we can stick it into our body. Well, cold rain lashes your face as you take your place on the Taipo dock. The storm is loud, practically deafening. Periodic thunderclaps roar like distant cannon fire, and the flash of lightning stabs at your eyes. Chu stands beside you, bracing herself against the storm. She turns to Captain Jomo, practically shouting to be heard over the howling wind. Jomo! Any chance anyone caught sight of us on the way in? The pirate cups his hands to his mouth and barks out his reply. You insult me! Krait's traitorous pigs were as blind to our approach as... She shouts back, cutting him short. Yes, we've got it, thank you. She pauses a moment as a sudden gust of wind nearly bowls her over. Straightening, she leans toward you. Okay, we already know that the SDU is patrolling the area. There'll probably be an Ares presence on site too. We need to be surgical in our approach. Take them from ambush if possible and kill them quickly. That means that we creep ahead, not sprint. And if we spot them, we shoot them before they catch sight of us. Got it? I'd rather talk my way past them than go in guns blazing, Chu. That'd be a mistake. Use your head, Val. Krait's people are getting paid to kill us, not engage us in a polite chat. Head's pounding like a jackhammer. Give me a second. Take your time. A few more seconds of massaging her temples and she starts talking again. On the plus side, we've got the element of surprise going for us. And on top of that, visibility and comm reception have been shut to shit by the storm. Gobbet huddles forward, her teeth chattering. Her rats peek out from pockets. Yeah, I just love shadowrunning in zero visibility weather with ice water surging around my knees and no feeling in my fingers. It's fucking great. Alright, let's do it. She claps you on the shoulder. Her hands feel like ice. Lead on, Val. And remember, when you see hostiles, take them out. If they manage to raise an alarm, you'd better believe that security personnel will flood into that warehouse. And that's a complication that we don't need. Got it. But before we do that, I suppose we can have a little look around. There is a fishing village after all. Maybe the locals can help us out in some way or another. I'm guessing this is the warehouse. Yep. Checkpoint up ahead. Anyone get a light? No, I don't think we have. Maybe. That is a pretty spacious place. Scorporine? I thought it was your wife. That was terrible. Jokers all around us. And another one. So yeah, looks like I understand why this place is this big. Precisely so that you can duck and weave around these checkpoints and patrols and get to the point. This one. There you are. However, as mentioned, this is the point where we stop. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow, or rather, maybe next week, we'll finally finish off this campaign. It is pretty great, but we might need a little bit of a break from Shadowrun. We'll see how it goes, naturally. But for right now, I would like to thank you all for coming, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. As for who we can raid, let me double check. I don't suppose anyone else is currently live. Huh, looks like Kix is still going on with Transformers War for Cybertron. Funny how that works. Popped into his stream about an hour ago, or at least an hour before the stream, and here we are. He's still going. Sharklet is streaming Battlefield 6 to 92 people. There's one dude streaming the old school Shadowrun. I suppose we can do that. But we don't know him, of course. That is indeed correct. So I suppose we can pop into Kix. That would be ideal. Well, off we go to Kix then. Until next time. See ya.